Hey, Coach Garman here. I'm a retired professional goalie, and I've got something awesome for you today.
In this video, we are going to be covering the 4 pillars of the secret fundamentals with elite skating, perfect setup, great positioning, and then of course, how to make saves look easy.
One of the greatest coaches ever, Vince Lombardi, has this quote that's like, success is nothing more than the mastery of the basic fundamentals. And I think that's so true. From playing my whole career, I had a lot of success in the BCHL. I won a championship and awards. I went on to play Division I college hockey at Cornell, and then I played professionally. And what I really realized is the best goalies in the world, including my goalie partner at Cornell, NHL goalie Ben Scrivens, is they just master the basic fundamentals and then they do them over and over, and they just are the best in the world at them. Like, there's no magic bullet. There's nothing really too crazy, but it's the key details that matter the most. So what a quick story is, like, again, I used to, if you watch our elite training, I used to work so hard on a lot of things that really didn't help my goaltending as much as I think. And you're probably doing the same. And so I used to squat a ton, and I had these really explosive legs, and I could run really fast. And so I squatted more than Scrivens. I benched more than him. I ran faster, right? All these things. But he moved way faster than me in the net, way quicker, way more explosive. So how does that work, right? It's not about strength. There's so much more. It's the secret fundamentals. So I recapped my whole entire career, everything I've learned from a lot of the best, and I've put them down. I've distilled this into a video course so you can literally learn what took me a whole career from playing with and against me the best in the world, and you can have that today. We're mastering the secret fundamentals. Not my best writing, but that's all right. All right, so the secret fundamentals, what are they? Well, it's broken down into 3 categories: technique, mindset, and G factors. So we must start with technique. I believe that your mindset separates the best from the rest, but to get to that level, you have to be a good goalie. You have to master the technique because actions get results. And what I learned was there was these secret fundamentals. There's these things that he was doing that I thought I was doing. Like I said, we were both skating. He just moved way better than me. And so what I've actually distilled it down so you can make saves feel easy. So just ask yourself right now, how cool would that be if saves felt easy? And I'll show you exactly how to do that. Okay, so to start, it's all about our skating. Without a doubt, the best goalies are the best skaters. Why? Because the puck moves so fast. Like I said, I'll teach you how to make saves easy. When you're in position, balanced with your feet set, and you see the puck, you're going to save like the stat in the NHL is over 99% of the shots are saved. Think about that. That's unbelievable. So it all comes down to our skating. Can you get in position? And there are key details that I'm sure you're not doing because I wasn't doing it. I was playing college, D1 college hockey at a great program, and I was not doing these key details right. So I was good, but to go from it, like a good junior goalie, a very good junior goalie, to a pro goalie, to an elite college goalie, I had to learn how to master the skating details. So that's why we start there. Again, I think your success as a goalie is directly correlated to your skating ability. So skate, skate, skate. That's why we start with that. We teach you some key details that are going to blow your mind. They're going to make you way faster, way more explosive, and then they're going to allow you to get in position quicker. So position's funny to me because I was of course, yeah, I'm in position, I get it. But what I didn't realize, again, at the highest levels, like angle is a science, right? Like you're centered to the puck, I get it. That's easy. We all know that, right? But your depth is more of an art. And at the highest levels, your depth becomes way more important than you think. Because of course, the more you challenge, the more likely you are to make that first save. But there's kind of this point where you get diminishing returns, meaning the more you challenge, you aren't more likely to make the save, but you're way less likely to make a rebound save or a pass save, right? So the positioning becomes actually much more complex than I ever thought at the highest levels. Now, what I would say in addition to your angle and depth is your puck perspective, how big you are to the puck. And we always, You know, a lot of guys used to stand with their gloves way up here. And if you look from puck perspective, you're over the crossbar. And same thing, like we love our wide stance, but you're outside the post. What does that mean? You're covering things that you don't need to cover. So that actually means to make saves, now you need to bring things together. And again, back to the skating, our feet are too wide. Not only are we not in a perfect position, but we're diminishing our power. So again, all this stuff is tied together. That's why it's so cool. It's the secret fundamentals. That's why it's so sweet. So we get into our position, but it's our angle, which is a science, our depth, which is an art, and that's how big we are to the puck at any given moment. And like spoiler alert, what looks big to your eyes is probably small to the puck, and what looks big to the puck might be small to your eyes. So it's not as common sense as people think. There is so much to be learned in position that I think gets overlooked. That's why we hammer the details so well in the secret fundamentals. So I love this setup idea. I don't think this gets talked about enough. Of course, this is your stance, right? Like I talked already about the width of your feet, your glove positioning, your arm position, your balance points. But it's much, much more than that. So I'm so fortunate to know the founders of OR Sports. I've worked with the guys that kind of run those camps. They're a brilliant head trajectory, if you've ever heard of it. In my opinion, it's an absolute game changer. It revolutionizes the position. And that's a huge part of your setup. Like, can you see the puck? And can you see the puck optimally? And if you don't know that yet, like you got to check them out, make sure we are seeing the puck. Everything should come from that. But again, back to your stance. Are you too wide? Are you too narrow? Are you diminishing your power, your quickness? Can you butterfly quick enough? Can you explode? Can you stop? And all of this comes from a great setup. If we are set up perfectly, if we are balanced perfectly, we can move right away and we can make saves right away. Now, again, a lot of it's your balance point. I highly, highly recommend you to be on the balls of your feet, not your heels. But that's just not your stance. I mean, how are you pushing? How are you stopping? All this stuff ties together. So again, it's your glove position, it's your stance, it's your head, and it's your balance points. If you have an elite setup, you can move and make saves as quickly as possible. And that's the name of the game. Remember, back to all this, the whole key is to get in position with your feet set and see the puck. That is why these two are so important. That's why you're skating. You see how that all ties together. Now what I say, we make 99+% of saves when we have these things perfect. So right now, just ask yourself, if you are not making 99% of saves, something's breaking down here, right? And I know the game's not easy. Like, come on. Like, it's easier said than done. But we need to master these to have a fighting chance. Again, that's why they're secret fundamentals. I did all these things since the first moment I played goalie. But it wasn't until I kind of mastered the secret fundamentals did I become an elite goalie. And I think the same is going to be true for you. And then what I promised you at the beginning here, our saves are going to feel easy. But that doesn't mean we don't have to work for them. We still have to work for our saves. There are key habits, really, that can only be done if we have a great setup. And obviously, if you aren't in position, you aren't making saves. And if you can't skate into position, you aren't making saves. But there's a lot that goes with setup into saves. Again, your balance points. So many goalies, they get there and they're like, oh, I've got a weak glove hand, or I can't save 5-hole, or any of it. If you ever feel like you have a weak anything, we need to check out these details. These show you exactly how easy it can be. And here's a cool little thing. You never need to move more than 6 inches. If you're playing this game the right way, and I mean, even little guys, like I get to work with young guys once in a while too, and it's a blast. Like, I watch 12-year-olds, and we set this up, we walk them through this, and like they're moving like this far for a bar down post and in puck, as long as they've got all this, right? If we're moving more than 6 inches, something's broken down within our system. So again, it's the details that matter here. It's the essential details. It's the secret fundamentals. That's why we do it. And we will show you how to skate into position, the right positioning, puck perspective, all that, plus an elite setup that allows you to make saves feel easy. I guarantee by the end of this course, you will make saves feel easy. It's incredible. But as you know, once you master this, we can't just be great technically. The real difference between the best and the rest is your mindset. But like I said, you have to master this first. Now that we've mastered that, let's move to mindset. So I think everything starts with your belief. So what do you believe about yourself? And like seriously ask, like, can you be as good as the other goalie on your team? Can you be AAA next year? Can you be juniors? Can you win a championship in juniors? Like, to achieve these things, you must first believe. And so we have amazing courses that teach you really how to wire your brain for success. And believe is the first step. But more than believe, what happens when this is challenged, right? What happens when you do believe you're a championship goalie, but you're down 3 games to 2, right? You're going in with your back against the wall. What happens when that's challenged? And again, this is all learnable skills. We teach all of this. So what I would say is once you believe, then you have to learn to control your focus, because what you focus on is what you get. So you may as well focus on what you want, right? To me, I mastered the technique before I mastered the mindset. And most goalies do. I actually believe this. Like, goaltending is easy. Like I said, I can teach you how to master goaltending, how to make saves feel easy. This is what's hard. How do you do it under pressure with scouts watching you? Like, that is what it's all about. So that's why I think mindset is, like, I'm so passionate about it, so near and dear to my heart, because I know that I was an elite goalie, but I also know that I faltered in big games, or I never played my best in the championship, or whatever it was, right? This game that I really wanted to do well and I didn't. It was because of mindset, not technique. My technique I had. I need to figure this out. And I'm sure you do too. Everyone does. Like I said, that's what separates the best from the rest. And we're going to teach you how to do this. There's much more. It's unbelievable, and I love it. And then, so after we master the technique, after we master our mindset, we get into G factors. So these are really cool things. Like I was talking about earlier about what can separate you. Like, so a lot of them are nutrition, sleep, goalie-specific workouts. Like, no more working out like a football player, right? Or like running. If you're just running for miles, I don't know. The science isn't there for it. Like, we need goalie-specific workouts. We need athlete-specific nutrition. Like, if you're eating Doritos and then lifting like a football player, like, you are not becoming the best goalie you can be. So I think these two are the most important thing in the world. But these are the slight edges you can gain in every area of your life, of your game, to become a little bit better here and a little bit better here. And all of these things add up big time. So as a goalie, like, you are a finely tuned athletic machine, like, for real. So our nutrition is so important. Like, I always say, like, you can't put low-grade fuel in a Ferrari. Like, you are a Ferrari. What are you putting in your system? If you don't put fuel, even a Ferrari won't go. And if you put sludge in a Ferrari instead of high-octane gas, you aren't going anywhere, right? And then we get into our goalie-specific workouts and stretching. Think of what it takes to make that, like, incredible backdoor save, or the strength you need to kill off a 5-on-3 when you're moving around the zone. I mean, you're literally doing plyos for like 2 minutes straight across the net. Like, it's absurd. We have to have the strength. Like, under all that armor is you, right? Like, you need the strength, the mobility, the flexibility, all this stuff to pull off the elite goaltending that you're going to pull off, that you are going to master here in the technique, right? And then, like, again, sleep, I think it's one of the most underrated things, especially for young athletes. 8 or 9 hours every single night, no question. At Cornell is really cool. We had one of the leading sleep researchers in the world. So I got to know him well. I work with him. One of my teammates who's in the NHL now works with him. Like, it's really cool. We just give you all these things that will give you slight edges and understanding of what matters most, so you can become the best goalie you can be. So again, I call these the secret fundamentals because I had played up until college. I was really fortunate. I was playing D1 college, and I didn't know all this. Like, I was learning this the hard way, through trial and error, through heartbreak, a lot of nights and tears, right? And so I wish I would have known this earlier. And that became my mission. How do I share that with a little kid like me who's grown up in a little mountain town in Colorado, who had no idea about any of this? How could I share what I took a whole career professionally, D1, juniors, all that, and share it with them? So that's why I've made the secret fundamentals. It's outstanding. It starts with technique. You learn how to make saves easy. And then we get into your mindset and your belief and your focus. And those two things alone will totally change your confidence, your consistency in your game. And then how do we gain slight edges in the G factors with our nutrition, our goalie-specific workout, stretching, mobility, flexibility? We're going to learn how to gain slight edges over everyone else and become the very best goalie you can be. Thank you for watching. Make sure you watch our other videos.
And if you're committed to being the very best goalie you can be, click on the link below or in the description to check out the Goalie by Garmin community, where we share tons of free videos and lessons.